RPR 180 Literary Practice Test. Ready? Here we go. Do you know the origin of the word caption? The old history of the word is to capture or seize. How wonderful is that? It's a good fit for text that captures the meaning of conversations for us, for communications and relationships, for life. Seize the day, yet first capture all the words. Captioning is truly much more than a mere label for a photo or a tiny bit of text in bubbles of a cartoon. Seize the words. Communicate. Use captioning on all media and real time for life. Captioning is language. It's speaking with text. It's written, readable, and interactive. By the time automatic captioning systems perfect automatic text for all human voices in all languages, we probably will have a pill to reverse deafness. Some want it and some don't. We respect those choices and differences. Meanwhile, until small and affordable machines translate any voice and all voices and groups into quality text real time as we all speak, we suggest we are a captioning culture. We live in it, we breathe it, and we advocate to expand it. People who need and deserve quality captioning every day, not only for television, cinema, and videos, are not only people with hearing loss or deafness. Millions more able citizens in all countries use captioning to enhance learning to read, learning new languages, and for searches online for knowledge. And yes, captioning or subtitles, the same idea, allows access and inclusion for millions with hearing loss or deafness. And yet the word captioning has no respect. It's beginning to earn respect, yet we have a long way to go. 45 years since the beginnings of relay telephones, text calling, and still millions want more quality captioning for everyday life. And the sooner the better. No thanks, we don't need a wheelchair, we need captioning. Did you say a culture of captioning? Yes, each language in the world is a vital and essential ingredient of that culture. Many groups are interested in the development of culture, not only anthropologists who study cultures professionally, but also sociologists, psychologists, politicians, economists, educators, and deaf people. Those who use sign languages are some deaf people who have fought bravely to define and protect their own culture and language. They talk about the sign language of their country and about their own deaf identity. There is also an established international sign language now. The culture of the deaf, sometimes called deaf culture, deafhood, or a deaf identity, has other building blocks also. It's not only built around a sign language, it includes behaviors, customs, and attitudes, typical ingredients of any culture. Nevertheless, the language, sign language, is of highest value. Now, we suggest a captioning culture. Captioning is already an international language since it's easily translated into the language you need. Text can be translated by professionals, and even automatic translations now with new technology are often better than automatic machine-only captioning. Indeed, we refer to captioning as our language, as the world's language. What other building blocks are there for a captioning culture? What behaviors, attitudes, expectations, and cultural norms are included? One behavior we value is reading literacy. In fact, captioning boosts literacy. Getting the words out globally about this, pun intended, is not easy. Yet, pockets of people in the United States, in India, and in other countries are captioning inclusion advocates for literacy, not for deafness and hearing loss. We belong together, however. Another attitude or value in a captioning culture is access and inclusion, and while insisting on captioning, we are open to many languages. Inclusion means that people with the full range of abilities and disabilities are valuable citizens, and societies are obliged to find resources for inclusion and using their combined many talents. Of course, this attitude is not unique to our captioning culture. A third item in a culture of captioning is an important behavior. We speak, most of us do, and it's not, if not, that's okay. We are oral. Many of us among our mega millions speak just the same as hearing people because hearing loss or deafness occurred after learning to speak. Deafened we are, or hearing loss of various degrees. We don't have an accent. We may have a language accent if we were born in one country and live now in another, yet for the most part we haven't accents different from all the beautiful accents of regional and national hearing people. Our identity is mixed. We identify primarily as citizens of the country we live in and as users of that country's language. We speak that language as our primary language. We understand and support sign language and deaf culture among friends, colleagues, and others, yet we do not enjoy accusations of resisting sign language or ignoring deaf culture. We are who we are. Some are bilingual with other languages. Some are multicultural. Some use sign language also. Our identities, after all, is said and done, are multifaceted: woman, explorer, mother, captioner, captioning user, and so on. What other items describe a captioning culture? We are cross-cultural in the sense that we know that people who are deaf, hearing, hard of hearing, and deafened, as well as many deafblind and others with different visual and learning differences, all need and use captioning for some situation. Entertainment such as films, videos, and theaters are good examples. All right, that will conclude our RPR 180 Literary Practice Test.